Hi Creatives, Claire from Right Accounts, and in this week's video we're going to look at tracking your income and 4 really easy ways to do that. So last week on the blog I was talking about 10 different ways that you could improve your business finances and really advocating that you just chose one of those things. Now, one of the things I mentioned was tracking your income and expenses. Something really very basic. No software, no subscriptions, no bank connections, automations, integrations, accounting, bookkeeping, none of that stuff. Literally just you and those two numbers and writing them down every day. And why this is so powerful is, phrases like where attention goes, energy flows, or what we focus on grows, really highlights to us that when we focus on something, we will generally tend to improve that. So maybe you want your bank balance to grow, the growth in your income, or in profit. Plus, this is where it gets really powerful. Paying attention to where your money comes in and goes out will give us insights on maybe where we should focus our attention making sales, or maybe we could focus some attention on reducing expenses. We all have money stories, money worries, money blocks, and tracking also helps us to be able to identify those. And whether you choose to work through them or not, simply acknowledging your default pattern is really powerful behavior and can help you improve a situation by knowing what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So what are the ways we can track income? So I have 4 suggestions, and the first one is using an app. Yes, there are smartphone apps that will allow you to do this. And I'm not talking about complicated ones with receipts and connections. I'm talking about really simple ones. Now, the one I use is called the Lucky Bitch money tracking app. There are other ones. But what I love about this one is you can also track the value that comes into your life. So freebies, gift cards, that sort of thing. When somebody gives something to you, that's also an energetic exchange of value. And I actually really like that when you reach your income target, you get a round of applause and a confetti screen. There are other apps on there, just go and find them where you get your apps. So the second way is, well, just a piece of paper, and I'm not very often advocating for using paper for your business bookkeeping or business finance, but today I will. Literally take a sheet of paper, divide it into 3 columns. In the first column we put the date, in the second column we put the income, and in the third column we put the expenses. And then at the end of each week or each month you can run a total on your income and expenses, and if that's all the information you have about your business, it's more powerful than having no information at all. So the third option, a spreadsheet. Of course, anything that we can do on paper can be created digitally. So if you love spreadsheets, you can even add traffic light grading or an automatic progress bar, or link the sheets together for each of the months to give you a bigger picture and track averages. Obviously, you can apply lots of spreadsheet fun to a spreadsheet, but we're really just focusing on the date, the income and expenses. Nothing more complicated. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. And then the fourth option for all the creatives among us that like having a task is a progress art. So if you're looking for something, like I said, more creative than just writing numbers down, progress art can be a really cute and satisfying way to record that same information. You need an artwork for colouring with, say, segments, and each segment represents a particular value. So you might have some suns or smiley faces or love hearts, or even just an abstract with segments. Each segment then represents a particular value, maybe $100. So you colour in 1, and when you make $200 sale, you colour in 2. So my personal guidelines for this, you only really track the income when it comes in, not when the sales agreed, not when the project's agreed, when the money actually hits your account, and equally for expenses, when the money leaves your account. Same goes for credit card. So once it's come off your credit card, that expense is tracked. Now I say to do income and expenses because in order to be good money managers, we need to manage both sides of that equation. Only tracking your income only gives you half the picture. But if that's all you think you're able to do, please start there. Any action is better than no action. And then attitude as well. So we don't need to make this bigger, more complicated, more stressful than it needs to be. Try to stay curious, be grateful for what comes in, and grateful for what that allows you to spend that cash on. This is not an exercise intended to be something for your accountant at tax time. That is not the purpose at all. It's just a little money and progress thought each day. We aren't grouping expenses, categorizing, tracking GST, or any of that bookkeeping stuff. We just really want that really simple, high level overview of money flowing into your business and money flowing out of your business. Now, if you're in this and you're saying to me, it's Claire, money is really not that important to me, it doesn't have to be about the money. Although for some people, focusing on the money seems too capitalistic, think about what else you could measure that drives income in your business. Maybe that's the number of sales, the quantity of items sold, the number of new clients you've sold up, the number of new subscribers on your mailing list, the number of comments on your social media. There are a lot of things we can measure and pay attention to. But ideally for this sort of exercise, I want it to be something that drives income in your business. So if 10 comments on your social media normally means that one person signs up to a package with you, then that could be okay. But really you want it to be something that will result in income. But before we leave, daily practice of tracking income and money, focusing on the money, is not a bad thing. You deserve to be monetarily rewarded for your efforts, talents, and skills. And money is just a value, a promise of value to come, not a measure of your self-worth or value. I hope this video has been useful. If it has, give me a thumbs up. Questions or comments, just let me know. I will link to the written version of this blog in the description, and if you check out none of those, I hope to see you in another video.